Hey good people, welcome back to Beauty and the Frizz. My name is Cara. Whether you're new or returning, thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with me for a Do We Still Love Her video. Yes, my voice is coming back. I'm excited. And I'm also really excited to play with the ABH Sultry palette. I have not used this palette in a really long time. So if you want to just go through, go down memory lane a bit, keep watching this video. Let me know what you think. And if makeup is your therapy and your love, if it makes you happy and you want to hang out with someone that feels the same way, definitely consider joining the community. You know I'd love to have you back. All right, let's get started. So how are you? Happy Friday. This video is going up tonight and I'm getting ready for work. Got on my Ball So Hard University Baltimore Ravens shirt. And I'm ready to get it, y'all. It is 7:08. The boys are gone. August had a foot appointment. So August had like warts or plantar warts. I'm putting all his business out, y'all. But you know, somebody can probably relate. On the bottom of his feet. And one day, this was like months ago, I thought it was a corn on the side. And then I just happened to look at the bottoms of his feet because, like, you know, I wash his feet in the shower because can't trust kids. But I never like looked under the bottom of his feet. So I just was like, I'm gonna check your feet out. And I'm like, what is this? So, because they were the same color as his feet. So anyway, this is like his third treatment. August would be so embarrassed. But anyway, yeah, so he had a 7:30 appointment. They got dentist appointments today. So Granddad is helping me out and they are not here this morning. So I'm actually chilling. I mean, it's not late by any means. It's 7:09. But you know, when it's just you, it's a little bit different. So anyway, let me just get into it. I don't know what year Sultry came out. I need your help for that because I really don't have time to look it up. But this is a palette that I probably have had for, I don't know if I've quite had it for 2 years. And I remember that it was discontinued. It was really hard to find, but I ended up finding it in Sephora randomly. And that's when I purchased it, but it was discontinued. There was another palette that came out probably sometime, maybe some years after Sultry, which was the Urban Decay Naked Reloaded palette. Same color story. And I remember having that palette and still saying, I want Sultry. Now remember, this is when I was just buying everything under the sun. Sultry was not a palette that really caught my eye when I started in makeup. The first ABH palette that I acquired was either, it might have been Jackie Aina, and then maybe I got Soft Glam or Norvina. Maybe it was Norvina. It may be the Norvina palette. I don't have any of those anymore, but I did keep Sultry because this palette was really unique for my collection because it was cool toned. Even though there's a little warmth in this palette. Let me know if you have any info to contribute about the release of this palette, because again, this one was before my time. So I just want to use it. I have not bought anything from ABH in a while, in a long time. But this palette and Jackie Aina, those are the two that I believe I have left. I think everything else is gone. And I still think that this palette is one of the best cool toned color stories that I own. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and quickly swatch. I'm just gonna do it quick because so we have Fresh, which is a matte, kind of off-white, pinky color. We have Pearl. Just wanna see if the shimmers are still shimming. Steampunk. This still looks good. I've got Rose Quartz, Ember. So yeah, these are looking good. Bloom is like the pop shade. Yeah, y'all, that Naked Reloaded palette was a dupe for Sultry. Do y'all remember that one? And then on the top row, last on the top row, we have Birch. So those are looking really nice still. Going to the bottom row, we've got Cinder, Twig. Looks good. We have Teak. And then we have a Dystopian, Deep Matte Brown. We've got Cyborg, which I think is one of my favorite shades in the palette. Yeah, one of the best shimmers, I think. And we have a matte gray Slate. And lastly, we have Noir, which is a matte black. This is swatching beautifully. I don't know, the shelf life is 18 months. I would say I've had the palette for about 18 months. So there's our palette. I kind of overlap there. But yeah, this, I still think this is one of the best color stories for cool tones that I've seen. Is this still relevant in 2023 is the question. And I'm gonna start getting into the look, and I'm gonna start with Twig. What inspired me to bring this palette out in particular is just the surge of cool tones that are hitting these makeup streets really hard. And I know some people are huge fans of cool tones. Natasha, ABH mattes are a little powdery at times. Cool tones have not always been my favorite. And I remember when I did do a look with this palette, I remember absolutely loving it. I was like, wow, I think this is one of the standout cool tone looks I've done. I don't think I did it for a video. I don't think I have a video on this palette because I didn't think it was relevant, but it is relevant. We have to make it relevant. That's the problem in these makeup streets right now. It can't just be the new stuff that's relevant. We're tired. So the inspo was just the surge of the cool tone palettes. I'm waiting on Huda Beauty's grunge palette to come out. The Xenon palette from Natasha Denona. I knew that was coming for a while. Now that it's here, I'm just looking at it, and I think the only reason why I would purchase that palette, aside from YouTube, is that it would go with the BYOP Natasha Denona palettes that I said I wanted to make that I'm not making. I actually think I'm gonna go, let's do the black, let's do Noir. I'm scared. I rarely ever use black shadow, but that's what this video is about. Because the Natasha Denona palette has a ton of grays and blacks, and I'm just not sure how much that palette would be used beyond a holiday type look. And truth be told, those colors wouldn't be my ideal holiday look. So purchasing Xenon is just mostly would be for YouTube and BYOP palettes that I really do have the intention of doing more of with my Natasha Denonas. I've seen so many great ones on Instagram, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just want to make these exact ones that I see people making, because I think that's one of the neatest things about, that's one of the neatest things about Natasha Denona shadows, is that, you know, you can take them out and then they're in these cute components, and I love that. So that would be it. I think Xenon would be a companion palette. Oh my God, one of you called it a supporting role. I think it was the Xenon palette. And that palette's expensive to be in the supporting role, but it would be in a supporting role for me. It wouldn't be like the main event, because I just don't see myself doing looks with all of those gray tones. And I think one of the nice things about the Sultry palette is you can do a gray tone look, but because of the browns that are here, you can do a cool tone brown look as well. You don't have to go gray. And that's another benefit of the Biba palette. The Biba palette has that gray matte and that gray black, because you have to think about it. I don't know, and this is sometimes when I do like to get makeup that I think is going to be challenging. How many different looks would you be able to make with the Xenon palette? Like with this palette, there are several looks you can do. You know, I'm thinking of at least 4 right now. But the Xenon palette, I'm thinking of 2, because there is a nude brown in that palette. It's really nude though. It's not even brown. What are we talking about? It's like a nude beige, and there's an icy pink shimmer. But I feel like that's the only brown tone look you'd be able to get. And then you would just have a variety of gray tones. And, you know, a couple of those grays, I just feel like on the eye, it's going to look the same. Just trying to blend this out a little bit. Okay. So yeah, what were we talking about? Lack of the variety. All right, I'm gonna go into Cyborg because that, my friends, is my shade for this palette. I love this one, and I'm gonna go use a finger on this. So yeah, I think with Xenon, if I get it, I will wait for the 20% off as VIB, but I'm not like pressed to get it. I think I want to get it for like to do a video and see what I can come up with, but those aren't my tones. You know, I like more earthy tones, and that's definitely grungy, you know, it's that, but I like more of a earthy grunge eyeshadow palette, and Xenon's not gonna give me that. Now the Huda Beauty palette, which initially I remember saying in my makeup protection program video when I just talked about the leak months back, I was like, I definitely don't want that because it reminded me of Glam. There are some nudes in there, and I think you can go with gray tone looks or brown grungy looks, but I, for some reason, think that I would like that palette better than the Natasha Denona Glam palette. I don't know what it is. I do like Huda's shimmers, and I can imagine that some of those shimmers in that grunge palette are going to be so beautiful and so icy. Just going back into Noir just a little bit for the outer corner, and just having those nudes in there, I think it's going to be nice. I don't know, Glam just wasn't my thing. I can say that officially because I had the palette, I dismantled the palette, then I bought another one, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, it'll be another supporting role palette at best. And that's all she wrote. So that's the look for the most part. I'm gonna get into an under eye. It's gonna go into Twig, yeah. It's going to Twig, just that transition shade that we used. I don't think I think I like the cool tone, like brown taupey shades a lot, but I don't know if I like looks that really have like that gray, overarching grayness. I don't think I care for that too much. So that's the thing about Xenon. Maybe I'm talking myself out of it. Am I talking myself out of it? Now, there was one shade that looked like a navy blue. It was like a blue black. And I thought that was pretty interesting. But, you know, a whole palette for that shade is... And then when I saw the swatches, I was like... Because you remember, like, I was really disappointed with the Natasha Denona Wet Effect shades. They just were lackluster for me. Let's go into Pearl for the inner corner. Wing wait. Yeah, they were just a bit lackluster. So, a Wet Effect. I was like, what is this? They were just kind of thin and toppery, which might have been the design. But I wanted something to make my lids look like wet, you know, like my indie stuff. It is what it is. You can't really see the difference between Pearl and Cyborg. Oh, what if we did a little rose quartz? I don't know if I want rose quartz. Well, we can do a little rose quartz on top, like that. Yeah, that's the look. So I'm gonna put on some liner. My school has a trunk or treat tonight. I'm taking Victoria Beckham Ash. And I you know what? I have to say this. I appreciate my school having this trunk or treat a week before all the other trunk or treats, because then I don't have to go to 2 trunk or treats. I missed my trunk or treat last year to go to August trunk or treat. I'm tired of saying trunk or treat. But I'm always about dispersing events. I really do not like going to multiple places. And I'm like that on the holidays, and that's why I want to escape. And that's why I'm going to, at least for Thanksgiving, because I love spending time with my family, but I just feel like I'm just not present because I'm always thinking that I'm going to have to leave soon to go spend time with other family. And I'm blessed to have so much family. So it's not a complaint at all. It's just that I'm trying to find ways to make myself more available as far as my mind and being present and enjoying, because you know what, I think I am really realizing is memories are really all you have, and they may not even last forever. I mean, I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer, but like, just like you don't have memories of yourself when you were a baby, when you were having that rent-free living, you know? That's why I'm looking for that now. And then when you get old, you might not remember certain things. So like, while I can remember everything, I'm trying to make the best memories possible. And it's hard to do that when you're always thinking about the next thing that you have to do. And I have a huge problem with that, especially because I have anxiety as well. And I'm just trying to do what's best for me in that department, because it's going to make me, it's making me a better person. And I think it makes things more enjoyable, you know? I remember like when I was an adult but younger, like on certain holidays, like 4th of July, for example, you know, we would all get together drinking and having a great time. And I just always loved that I would sleep over at my mom's, because my mom and my aunt lived next door to each other. So we would be up at my aunt's house, and then I just walk down to Boys, everything, and we would just sleep over at my mom's. And it was just great, because it's like we can stay up. I don't have to drive. I don't really like driving at night, y'all. So, I mean, I will, but I don't care for it. It's like not having to worry about the drive back home, because I live across town. Anyway, I don't know how we got here. I really don't know how we got here, but I'm glad we're here, because it just reminds me of, you know, why I'm trying to do what I'm doing. And that's one of the best things about YouTube. Oh my gosh, it's probably late as I don't know what, y'all. Oh my gosh, I gotta go. It's 7:27. This is the look. We can come back to this conversation at another time, but my kids come in at 7:40 and I gotta get out of here. The question is, oh, and I wanted to tell you about the blush. I can't not tell y'all about the blush. The blush is Unearthly Cosmetics Hazy. I love this one. It's one of their best. Okay, we'll talk about YouTube and why it's so important to me and the memories it's making and how I love this community. And we'll come back to this scent of the day. It's Mother Nature's Naughty Daughters by 4160 Tuesday. I'll have to spray that at work. And I gotta go. But do we love her? I would say yes. Yes, I do. I love this look. I think it's gorgeous. And I also think that this color story is totally relevant in 2023. I really like this look a lot, actually. I hope I showed it to y'all. My eyebrows messed up on this side, but that's okay. I do love this palette. I'm gonna keep it in my collection. I think it definitely has a role and it has a place. So let me know if you still love the ABH Sultry palette. I'm gonna get on out of here. I'm wearing purple Converses today. Thank you so much for taking out some of your time. And oh, and this is Awestruck, Maybelline Lip Vinyl Ink. Thank you so much for taking out some of your time and hanging out with me for another one today. I hope this was therapy for you. It's too much for me today. And until I see you again, make sure you're being gentle with yourself. Talk to yourself nice, stay safe. I will definitely see y'all in the next one. Bye.